Flexible, the horse who refused to quit. They said he was too small, too broken, too old, that he'd never make it, never win. But Flexible didn't listen, because Flexible was never built to follow rules. He was born to shatter them. In a world ruled by bloodlines and beauty, Flexible was an outlier, injured, overlooked, written off, but one man believed. Together, they turned injuries into fuel and setbacks into storylines. In 2012, they didn't just return to the sport, they redefined it, one jump at a time. Born in 1996 in the green fields of Ireland, Flexible wasn't flashy. He wasn't towering or intimidating. He was different, an Irish sport horse with a fire in his eyes. His sire, Cruising, had talent, but Flexible, he was compact, oddly built, a bit rebellious. Judges didn't see a champion, they saw a question mark. But what they didn't see was his heart, a heart built for battle. Then came Rich Fellas, not a billionaire rider, not a spotlight seeker, just a horseman from Oregon, with a sharp eye and a bigger belief in grit than glamour. He saw Flexible, not just the body, he saw the mind, the will. They clicked instantly, like a spark. But success wasn't instant. Early competitions brought frustration, refusals, missteps, injuries. Whispers started, maybe he's not cut out for this. And then came the diagnosis, joint issues, pain. The vet said, he shouldn't be jumping. Most would have retired him, but Flexible wasn't most horses, and Rich, he wasn't most riders. They went quiet. While others rose in rankings, Flexible was training in silence, icing legs, rebuilding muscle, getting stronger, mentally, physically. No cameras, no cheering, just work. Behind every great comeback is a stretch of darkness, and that's where Flexible forged his fire. Then came 2012, a year that would change everything. The FEI World Cup final in the Netherlands, the world's biggest stage, and Flexible, 16 years old, a senior citizen in jumping years. They said he wouldn't last. But when that first bell rang, Flexible exploded into flight. Sharp, smooth, untouchable, round after round, clear. Crowds rose, competitors stared, and when the final jump cleared, history bowed. Flexible had done it. First American to win the World Cup in 25 years, at 16, with a rebuilt body and a heart that wouldn't quit. Months later, London 2012, the Olympic Games. Flexible walked into the ring with titans of the sport. Younger, fresher, pricier. He didn't blink. Every takeoff was electric. Every landing was a statement. He finished 8th individually, just shy of a medal. But no one walked away thinking he'd lost. He was already a legend. The qualities that defined him. Bold music builds. A deep, steady voice. Each line lands with impact. He had the heart of a lion, fierce, unshakable, always charging forward. The spirit of a warrior, tested by pain, sharpened by pressure. He carried a resilience that redefined limits. Because every time he was counted out, he stood taller. He shared a bond with his rider that words couldn't explain. It wasn't just training, it was trust, it was belief. His longevity shattered expectations. Competing at the top, long after others had retired, he was fearless over fences. No height too high, no challenge too bold. He was the master of comebacks, falling, rising, and flying again. He was a World Cup champion, a title he earned with sweat, scars, and soul. An Olympic competitor, holding his own against the very best in the brightest arena on earth. He was a fan favorite because he wasn't perfect. He was real. He was heart and hustle, an injury defier, carrying the weight of pain and still delivering brilliance. And above all, he was a legacy builder, leaving behind more than trophies. He left a message that greatness isn't born from pedigree. It's born from refusal to quit. Flexible wasn't just a jumper. He was a story, a symbol, a living lesson in what happens when belief overpowers doubt. In 2017, at 21 years old, Flexible retired. Not because he had to, but because he earned it. He could have kept jumping, but his story was already complete. He walked out in front of roaring fans, not just as a champion, but as a symbol. And in 2021, he passed away, peacefully, loved, respected, but his legacy still thunders in every arena, in every underdog, in every rider who dares to believe when no one else does. Young riders study his jumps, coaches quote his courage, and fans still cheer when they hear his name. Flexible wasn't just a horse. He was a movement. He wasn't supposed to win. He wasn't supposed to last. But Flexible didn't live by predictions. He lived by passion. And for that, he didn't just change the sport. He became its heartbeat. Flexible, 1996 to 2021. The horse who refused to quit.